Hello my friends, welcome to another episode of Diablo 3. My name is Wilfred. So last night my friend Dupe, my wife Cup, and I have played a little bit of GR100, and we are playing 3 different classes as well, just a little bit different from the past whereby we often play the same class, same build actually. So we are trying to see if we have a combination of classes and can we have some synergy to do things together. So it's more or less like an experiment kind of like a thing. Now just to put things in perspective, my friend Dupe is playing the Barbarian, the Whirlwind kind of like a Rend build. And he's still gearing up his Barbarian, so the gear is just so-so. My wife is playing the Typhon set for the Wizard, and so far also gearing towards a better kind of like setup. Still a long way to go. I think she only augmented 1 piece of gear, if I'm not wrong, just for the season kind of journey. But still a lot of work needs to be done for her. And while for me, just to put things again in perspective, I'm under 1000 Paragon point in this season 20, and I've got 5 ancients out of 13 slots, so by no means is well geared. And I've got 3 ancients being augmented with them level 85 to 95. So again, it's pretty standard stuff. And then the dam level is about 101 because I've been farming GR100 myself when I play solo, just for a little bit of excitement. But I mean, all in all, the team is still a long way to go. And I think unlike some of the players out there in Diablo 3, because we do have our full-time job and all, we don't really get to play that often, perhaps just like an hour or so a day. So the progress-wise is kind of slow, but it's alright. I mean, usually the season will take a little bit long to last a little bit long as well. And especially for this season, we have the Year of War Conquest, and the good thing about it is that we are being encouraged to play other classes and so on. So we ended up just playing other classes. So I started off with the Wizard, Hydra, and transited to the Witch Doctor, the Mundunugu set. My wife stick with the Typhon because she really liked it, although she did roll Witch Doctor to get the conquest done. My friend Dupe also started off with the Typhon Wizard, but now is playing Barbarian because he found that most likely the Barbarian would complement us pretty well. So yeah, I mean, it's fun stuff, but so far I think I'm sort of like the DPS kind of person here, trying to just kill off as much as possible. While my wife is doing a little bit of like a crowd control with the Frost kind of Hydra, my friend Dupe is grouping quite a lot of mobs, so it makes my life a lot easier. I don't need to do the fish kind of like spell too much. I just need to focus on dropping the spirit barrage and so on. Some of these bosses are rather hard, like just now the cold snap, that one is really hard. The blighter also known to be pretty hard as well, unless you have a pretty good kind of like crowd control against him. So my Witch Doctor, so far I'm having a lot of fun with this new set, the Mundunugu set. I'm not sure whether it will get nerfed after the season 20, because it is kind of like an outliner compared to other builds. In fact, if you take a look at the leaderboard, I try to browse the leaderboard a little bit for season 20 under Witch Doctor. I went through 4 pages of a leaderboard, maybe about 300 to 400 people. I couldn't find anything other than Mundunugu set. So I think this new set is really powerful. Is it the outliner? I mean, Blizzard is known to nerf the build a little bit just to bring things back to the reality. Same as the Valor kind of like a set for the Crusader, which we tried last season. I think they tried to nerf it, but in the end, I don't think they're really successful in doing that too much. I think it's still as powerful as last season, just that it doesn't have the kind of like kind of fast kind of cast time to it. They nerfed the Fire of Heaven a little bit, so but I don't think net there's an effect on it at high rate. So now this Witch Doctor, it's kind of like remind me of the J Harvest set as well, because I enjoy the J set a lot. I think even so, I don't know, I'm a little bit torn between this one and the J, because the J Harvester is the set has they use the, I believe, the haunt, or the soul harvest as like an explosion to sort of knock down the mobs when you spam it with haunts and locusts, which I find it very bursty, very effective. But then on the other hand, I mean, this build, the Spirit Barrage, when you actually dump the Fantasium, when you despawn them, either by will or just when time expire, it kind of explode. The explosion is pretty impressive as well. Just that during the explosion, the mob or the boss has got to be around the area, which sometimes may or may not be the case. A lot of time, this kind of mob just stay where they are. So the Spirit Barrage, just to recap again, use the Fantasium rune. So on its own, it does no damage, no direct damage at all. So it will just sit there for like 12 seconds, I guess, with no direct damage, unless you spawn the fourth one and above. Then the first one will get exploded, because what it does is that it will continue to deal like invisible damage. And then once it expires after 12 seconds, I think, or you just spawn a new Fantasium, then the old one get expired, then it deal a total of X amount of percentage on top of the Spirit Barrage that it has been channeling for the last however number of seconds. The only challenge, of course, for that is that the mob has to be more or less in the same area. Otherwise, when it explodes, you got nothing to hit with. That kind of thing is sort of like, so how much you invest and when you want to explode it. A little bit like a detonation kind of build. The longer the Fantasium live in the area while dealing indirect damage, the better it is, because when you explode, it becomes a big one. But I would just try to every couple of seconds detonate one of them, and just to reap the benefit, because there's really no benefit for leaving it for too long. Unlike if there is like a curve whereby the longer I leave it there, the higher payoff it will be, then yeah, it's a different story. But it's not the same. And so I detonate as when I have mana. Basically, my limiting factor for this build is mana. I know a lot of you asking if I could use another passive and so on. Well, the rest of the passive are just not optimized, and this is most likely the most optimized kind of passive setting that I've got. So no, I can't really have everything. You can't have your cake and eat it. So you go for DPS, and you just have to be mindful when you do certain things, not just randomly clicking things and hope the mob die. Sometimes I conserve the mana, knowing that if I need to really burn the mob fast, then I'll just dump everything onto the mob pretty in good succession of it. Otherwise, if I can wait out a little bit, then I'll just wait out a little bit to let the time does its own thing, because for the Spirit Barrage, for this particular build that I have, Fantasium is one thing, but there's a Spectre as well. If you see, there is a Spectre on top of the Witch Doctor that does damage, a pretty good damage as well on its own. So the Spectre does damage. The blue thing that you see flying everywhere is from the Spectres on top of the head. It just automatically appear when you hit anything with when you use the ability, which is Spirit Barrage. But on top of that, there's also the one that you can't really see it here, but because it's all piling on top of the mob, the little Fantasium that running around the area to deal area damage. I would say it's quite a nice kind of circle to it. So I'm still trying to find how best to build, how best to do this build. And yes, I do agree. Witch Doctor has always been a little bit challenging when you don't have 10 stack of Soul Harvest, or 5 or 10 depending on your build. But yeah, like I said, you can't really have everything. The good thing about this build is that by using Spirit Walk, you get 60% damage reduction from your set Mundunugu anyway. So you got 60% from there, and if you use the Big Bad Voodoo, you got another additional 20% of damage reduction. If you use like Captain Crimson, you got additional damage reduction, and so on and so forth. So you do have quite a fair bit of protection. And of course, when you get the Soul Harvest, then you get even more protection. But yeah, it is what it is. But by and large, it's probably one of the more tanky Witch Doctor build I played. So I had a lot of fun. Thank you very much for watching. And as we push higher to GR, maybe beyond 100, I'll do a little bit more video for you guys. And And let me know in the comment box below how you're doing in this season 20. All right, so it's kind of funny. This this clip is that I got people all queuing at the at the blacksmith, and then it was like a social distancing because later on Dupe also at the stash side. But I don't know. I mean, now it's COVID-19, so stay safe, and social distancing is important. Just like this clip here. All right, see you next time. Bye.